going to jump into our lesson, our sermon tonight. We're continuing on our study on Hebrews chapter 8. And so we're walking through chapter 8, 9, and part of 10. But it's a continuation of the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant. And so tonight we're going to focus on that word covenant. And so we'll talk about that in detail tonight. But I want to go back just a little bit and talk about what a covenant is. Well, I'll tell you what. I read on Facebook, so you know it's true, that what's everybody laughing about? But if you get forgetful, it's a sign of intelligence. I'm with you, Don. I'm with you. I am a genius today. I'm just telling you the way it is. I'm up there. And so I forget when we talked about covenants, and I've shared this with a couple of people. I think me and Amy had a conversation this week. She was texting me, asking me about covenants and stuff, and she was listening to the Bible and had a question, and we were talking about it. But do you remember there's two types of covenants throughout the Bible that where a person or God makes a covenant with people, and there's a covenant where it's two-way. It's an agreement that they make a covenant. Hey, we're going to do this. I'll do this, and then you'll do that. Okay? It's kind of like when God says, okay, I'll do this, and then this is what I expect from you in return. And so that's like one covenant. And then you had the covenant that is just one way. Hey, I'm going to make a covenant with you where I'm going to do something for you. I'm going to bless you. I'm going to do this or whatever I'm going to do. And you don't have to do anything in return. It's just a one-part covenant with someone. And I talked about the Abrahamic covenant and the Davidic covenant and stuff like that. But God said to Abraham, you'll have more descendants than what you could count. Go out and count stars, and that's how many. Abraham really didn't have to do anything. He just had to trust in God. David, he told him, he said, all right, I'm going to make a covenant with you that there will always be someone of your lineage, someone that is a descendant of yours that's going to sit on the throne. And we know that's going to come all the way to Jesus on the throne. So we're talking about covenants tonight. Covenants. And remember, it was called the Ark of the Covenant, right? So that's how we just kind of rolling through with this. And so I want to open up in prayer, and we'll jump right into it. We'll start on verse 7. Verse 7. Let's open up in prayer. Father God, I come to you right now. Thanks so much for your word. Father, as we open tonight in prayer, we thank you so much that as we sing our songs, Father, we are singing to an audience of one. Every note played, every word sang. Father, we thank you so much that you love us to make a new covenant. A covenant that speaks to our hearts, that covers and takes sin away. Will you remember it no more? So God, we just love you and ask you to speak to us now. We ask us in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, go to verse 7. Go to verse 7. And starts off like this. For if that first covenant had been faultless, there would have been no occasion sought for a second. Okay, so basically what the writer said here is setting things up for what's saying about the first covenant and then the second covenant. So he says that the first covenant would have, if it would have been faultless, if there had been no fault with it, then there's no need for the second covenant. Okay, so what's he talking about? Let's look at the first covenant. Take your Bibles, turn over to Hebrews chapter 7, verse 11. There's actually several places throughout the Bible that talks about that, but verse 11, we'll stay here for closeness. Chapter 7, verse 11. Now, if perfection was through the Levitical priesthood, for on the basis of that the people received the law, what further need was there for another priest to arise according to the order of Melchizedek, and not be designated according to the order of Aaron? Remember, we go back to high priest, and high priest had to be a direct descendant of Aaron. Those were the only people that served as high priest. However, the Levites served as priests. And so when you read the word priest and high priest, the priest was just a tribe of Levite, and they served within the tabernacle, they served within the temple, but they could not serve as high priest. Only a direct descendant of Aaron could do that. And so when it talks about the Levitical law, what was the Levitical law? we go back to sacrifices, okay? And they had all kinds of sacrifices that they had to do and different things. And so he said if the first covenant would have been faultless, there would be no reason for the second. There would be no reason for another high priest. And so a lot of things go on there, and for time's sake tonight, I'm going to keep it kind of short by expanding on it, but let me say this. The law in no way made a person perfect. Do you understand that? The law in no way made a person perfect. I don't care if you carried out the law extremely all the way to the thing. You were never going to be perfect. Okay? We know that we are human. We are created with sin in us. We don't have to be taught to sin. It comes natural. That's human nature. And so once we trust Jesus Christ, I'm not perfect, but the perfect one is living in me. His righteousness is imputed to me, and so God sees his righteousness and not my righteousness. So the law doesn't make us perfect. It does not completely reconcile us to God. But the law was made so that there would be a need for a Savior. You know, whenever I remind, okay, confession's good for the soul, bad for reputation. I was following my wife today, and we was headed to Carl's. Now, I don't know if I was in a big hurry to get to Carl's, but you know, the hamburgers are pretty good. And so I was going down by meat, and I was just thinking about all the different things going on today, and I was worried about Linda and Jeff, and I had some things going on in my mind, and Trisha was ahead of me, and I was just kind of, and I'll be daggone if I didn't look out of my speedometer, I was doing 70. Sorry. I said, oh my goodness. I saw the speedometer, and I was looking for the law. And I was very fortunate that there was not one down by the meat. And so I was going to be in need of a Savior if I got pulled over. Okay? So I was going to call Dad and say, hey, Dad, could you talk me out of this one? Okay, but anyway. And that's a long story. You just need to ask Dad, all right? But anyway, I was like, man, I broke the law. Shame on me. And so I let back off of it. And I know Lisa always reminds me, Tony, your truck has cruise control. Use cruise control. I wasn't thinking. I honestly wasn't thinking. But the law makes it known that we need a Savior, that we can't keep the law. I was not setting out to break the law when I was driving down there. I was just going over the speed limit, and I shouldn't have done it. And so it made a reminder to me that I broke the law. So then I was a lawbreaker. That's just the way it works. And so here's the problem with Levitical law. You want to know what the problem is with Levitical law? If you go back to chapter 8, verse 7, if it was not faultless. You know what the problem is with Levitical law? Are you ready? This is deep. I'm going to teach you something here, because it applies to today too. The problem with the Levitical law, sacrificial system, is people. I learned you something right there, didn't I? Here's what I mean. What happens is that people, just like today, whenever they have sin involved in their life, or when there's something going on in their life, guess what? They stop praying, they stop worshiping, they stop coming to church. I was a youth pastor, and I'd see students there, and they'd be here every week, and all of a sudden, you don't see them for a month. Guess what? Something's going on in their life, and they're ashamed of, and they don't want to come to church. Same thing happens to adults. Hey, you know what? I got other things to do. I don't think I need to go down to church. I'm too busy for that. Today, and then comes another habit. And then I always tell them, it takes 2 weeks to do a habit church service. Because you repeated it, right? So you miss 2 services, it becomes a habit. Well, we don't really need to go. The problem is back then in the Levitical law, saying, okay, well, hey, I got to go give up that nice animal. It's got to be perfect. You know, I'm probably like, things are hard right now. I better not give that animal up. Or that's too far to travel. I shouldn't be able to do that. And the thing is that the people, just like today, stop doing it. And they don't do so much. You remember, who was it? Dad, I know you know. There was someone in the Old Testament that sacrifices for his children in case they sin. Why did he have to do it? Was it Job? Yeah, okay. Why did he have to do it for the children? Because guess what? They weren't good. The problem is the sacrifice, the people. And so they wouldn't do it. And so if they didn't do it, the problem was they were still covered in their sins, you know. And so what happens is they ran into problems, and so they couldn't follow the law. And even if they could, they would not be perfect by obeying the law. Just there's no way possible. And thank God for His infinite grace and mercy that He gave Jesus Christ. So for us people that are stubborn, us people that are daydreaming while you're driving down the road. Hey, let's go to the next verses 8 through 13. Look what it says here. Finding fault with him, he says, Behold, days are coming, says the Lord, when I will effect a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Not like the covenant which I made with their fathers on the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt. They did not continue in my covenant. And I did not care for them, says the Lord. But this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, says the Lord. I will put my laws into their minds, and I will write them on their hearts, and I will be their God. And they shall be my people. And they shall not teach everyone his fellow citizen, everyone his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for all will know me, for the least to the greatest of them. For I will be merciful to their iniquities, and I will remember their sins, what? No more. Verse 13. And he said, A new covenant he has made, the first obsolete. But whatever is becoming obsolete and growing old is ready to disappear. All right. God says through the writer, He's going to make a new covenant. And this new covenant will do something that the old one didn't do. He said the old one was going to remove the sins so that He would not remember them anymore. Now, I was just sharing with someone just last week. I know you'll find this funny. But I don't remember who it was. But I shared with somebody that the mind is like a computer. The mind is like a computer that, excuse me, that when we see an image in our mind or a computer, you bring it up on a computer. For those of you guys who are computer wizards, that even though you delete it, you delete the site that you went to, the web address and all that stuff, guess what? It's never really fully deleted. Did you know that? That's why when they go in and they raid these people's houses, they take the computer to look on stuff, and even though they wiped it and they think it's wiped clean, it's not. And the mind works the same way. Our minds, when we see an image or when we plant something on there that maybe it's something that we hear and we say it a lot and we put it deep in our mind, guess what? It goes back into our file in our mind, and something later in life, it'll click and it'll come back to the forefront again. And it's like, I remember that whenever I was a kid. I remember that whenever I was an adult. And so what happens is, and that's why pornography is so dangerous. Okay? And so what happens is that stuff gets in our minds and we remember that. But listen, God's mind is different. He says, I will remember no more. It's erased. That right there is just awesome. So, and verse 12 it says, remember no more. Go to Luke chapter 22. Go to Luke chapter 22. Verse 20. Verse 20. Luke 22, verse 20. And in the same way, he took the cup after they had eaten, saying, "This cup is poured out for you as the what? New covenant in my blood." Hey, who can tell me that there's not a God? Jesus says this, and then the writer of Hebrews talks about a new covenant. A new covenant is Jesus' blood being shed. That covenant that he's making with us, God saying, "Hey, I'm going to send a perfect sacrifice. My son, he's going to die on the cross, and his blood being shed is going to take away sin so he remembers them no more." That's God. That's God. When God the Son was saying this, he knew exactly what he was doing. It's the new covenant. It's a new thing. Hey, I'm doing this for you, that whoever accepts my new covenant will have their sins forgiven, that he will remember them no more. Oh my goodness. I love that. But we're not done yet. Let's open our eyes a little bit more. Let's go to 2 Corinthians. Go over to 2 Corinthians chapter 3. Second Corinthians chapter 3, verse 1. And we'll drop down to 5 and 6. Back at the top of my section right there, chapter 3, it says, "Ministers of the New Covenant." 3:1. Are we beginning to commend ourselves again, or do we need, as some, letters of commendation to you or from you? Then drop down to verse 5 and 6. Not that we are adequate in ourselves to consider anything as coming from ourselves, but our adequacy is from God, who also made us adequate as servants of a new covenant, not of the least, but of the Spirit. For the letter kills, but the Spirit gives life. I talked about in chapter 8, it says, I won't have to teach them anymore. Do you know what the main job of the Holy Spirit is? When I say main, but one of the jobs of the Holy Spirit, besides conviction. A lot of times Christians believe that we're the ones supposed to be doing the convicting, browbeating someone into salvation. That never works, okay? The Holy Spirit's the one that draws a person to God. The Holy Spirit teaches. He says, I won't have to teach them. You won't have to, because even the greatest to the least, the Holy Spirit's living inside of them, and he will teach them about the new covenant. Isn't that amazing? How the Spirit works? That we as a church are ministers of this new covenant. We are the ones that's supposed to share. We're the ones supposed to tell people about it. Hey, this is something. You know what? You don't have to be perfect to come to Christ. Okay? And that's where a lot of people think they got to be so good. I'm going to clean myself. How many times have you heard that? I'm going to clean myself up before I go to church. I'm going to clean myself up before I get saved. Hey, you can't get clean enough. You just can't do it. Jesus is the one who does the cleaning. He did 100% perfect, without blemish. He was a perfect sacrifice. He is the blood shed as the new covenant so that we can come to Christ. So that we can spend eternity with him. You'll never be perfect, but by his blood you can be made perfect in the eyes of God. So, when the old covenant was to take a sacrifice, and it was being offered, and it was completed in the blood of Jesus Christ. Now it went from one to the other, it passed along. God is not the author of confusion. Me and you were talking about that last night, Mark. God is not the author of confusion. There's people out there who will take the Bible and try to confuse people with it or make it contradict itself. It does not contradict itself ever. Okay? It's 100% infallible in the Word of God. And so he does not create confusion. And so when you read from the Old Covenant, there's a reason for the Ark of the Covenant. All according to Jesus. I wrote some things in contrast, so I'll probably read these. Tonight we looked at the Old Covenant with a Levitical sacrificial system that people turned their back on. The new covenant was brought to us through the sacrifice of Jesus on the cross. The old covenant consisted mostly of outward observances of each individual. Did you hear that? Outward observances of each individual. The new covenant was brought to us by God. This was a covenant made by God where the people didn't really have to do anything but accept the covenant. Remember, it's a one-way covenant. Hey, I'm giving Jesus Christ as my sacrifice. All you got to do is accept it. The Holy Spirit would be the teaching for his people, the way to obey, grow, and live a holy life that honors God. And when we look at our lives, do you think that sometimes our walk, we try to live like the old covenant, making almost our lives seem like a sacrifice to God? You ever know anybody does that? Oh, I tell you what, I'm just trying to sacrifice my life to God. I'm doing everything I can to live a clean life. I'm just struggling. You know what? I understand we're going to battle from time to time. God's got it. God's got you. He has you, and when Satan gives you that sacrificial outward observances that you're trying to do that, you're going to live a defeated Christian life. Because everything you do wrong is going to be multiplied in your mind, thinking I can't do it. Have you heard anyone who come in and got saved and was on fire for the Lord, and then, a year or two down the road said, Christian life, it just didn't stick, it was too hard, I just couldn't do it. I don't know how you guys do it. Hey, I'm not doing it, it's him who's living in me. He's the one doing it. Here's my closing comment. When in reality, Jesus already made the sacrifice. We just need to follow the direction of the Holy Spirit. I know usually on Sunday nights I'm preaching to the choir, so to say, those who are really committed. If you're here on Sunday night, you're committed, especially at 18 degrees outside and snow. So I'm tickled to death and proud that you're here. But maybe God's just speaking to your heart. Maybe you've tried to have a whole bunch of outward observances to try to show people and yourself that you were trying to be the good Christian. When in reality, the sacrifice has already been made. We just got to surrender to it. I don't know. Maybe today there's someone here that doesn't know Jesus. I don't know your heart. But the old covenant has passed away. But the new covenant, which is the shed blood of Jesus Christ. You can accept him today. We'll have a hymn invitation. Not a whole lot of people here, but you can come forward and say, hey, I want to trust Jesus. Maybe you're looking for a church home. You'd like to be a part of this church. Say, hey, Pastor, I want to join this church. I want to serve the Lord right here. We'd love to have you be a part of it. Maybe you want to come to the altar prayer. I don't know. But as a pastor, each time that the word is shared, we need to give an invitation because the Holy Spirit works in ways. I've seen a lot of things happen. Revivals break out just to see these. It can happen.